Welcome to the Daily Influence, where our mission is to deliver a daily dose of positive influence that can uplift you personally or be shared within your sphere of influence. While not every episode may directly apply to your unique circumstances, we strive to provide insights and inspiration relevant to most people's daily, weekly, and monthly lives. Whether you are tuning in during the morning, noon, or night, the Daily Influence is here for you. Listen, share, and embrace the power of influence in your life. Hey everybody, Brian Smith here with the I Am Team series and the Daily Influence. And if you've been tracking with us, you know that we've been doing some reviews of some of our earlier episodes. And we've been doing that because we've been trying to put together our transition, and we are going to be transitioning into 2024 with a more interactive daily influence. We're going to have guests. We're going to be introducing over the next couple of weeks some guest podcasters from within our company and outside our company. And then we're going to move into some interviews about influence topics that we face every day as individuals, as leaders, as subordinates in our organizations. And we're going to try to add more outside context to the work that we do so that we can better connect with you and, well, honestly, create a more diverse and inclusive podcast that can reach everybody and have a positive influence and a takeaway for everybody. And that leads me to today's topic, which is diversity. As we head into this holiday season and we witness what's happening around the world, the division that's happening overseas, the division that happens often in our societies, be it socioeconomic, be it race, be it gender, it doesn't matter. There is so much divisiveness, there's so much separation that we're facing, and we shouldn't be. The world has become such a diverse place, and it benefits, and it's a positive place because of that diversity, but it requires participation from everybody, not just one side or the other. It requires understanding, and diversity is about having everybody involved, allowing everybody to have a voice, and not always agreeing. We used to be able to disagree and disagree in really a positive way and continue to move us forward. Somewhere along the line, probably when we opened up the world to this massive ability to communicate and to do so without limitations, is when we got ourselves into trouble. And then we have to think about, well, freedom of speech, which is required within freedom. And it's the ugly side of it and the beneficial side of that that is so good to diversity, but is also feeding the division between us. And those words are so close to each other. And I think we forget that diversity and division start with the same tone, the same thing, and they can be confusing and difficult for people. I urge everybody to think about your areas of influence. Think about the things you do, whether it be conscious or subconscious. Think about the things that you're involved in when you're shouting for freedom, yet within that shout for freedom, you're trying to oppress all at the same time. You're trying to create freedom for what you believe in while suppressing what others. That's not freedom. And we forget that sometimes when we get all riled up in our emotion about what we're passionate about. And we forget that there are people out there who have differences in their lives. And yes, there are places where we have no understanding of what they go through day to day. We have no concept, especially here in America, what it's like to live in China or the Middle East under these areas of influence that are so foreign to us. It's easy for us to look at those areas and say it's wrong. We can fix it. You're doing it the wrong way. You're thinking the wrong way. When for a millennia they have had this life and this way of living, and because they haven't evolved at the same pace as us, because they don't believe in the same things as us, because they become accustomed to those things, we judge them or we want to influence them in ways that they don't understand, and it creates not diversity, but division. Yet, if we were to listen to them at the foundation, we could learn something from the passions they have. We could learn something from what they give into. We might better have beyond empathy and sympathy, but be able to conceptualize and help them understand from a more foundational effort through diversity what might help them. It's also about ego and control, and it's hard to have a diverse environment if there are egos in there controlling it, if there are people who only think about control. And we need to step back as leaders, and we need to be inclusive in our areas of influence so that we understand how that diversity can benefit us. Think about it from a larger perspective. Whatever your area of influence is, you need to take a step back and you need to look at it and think, how will these diverse thoughts, these diverse people who participate in my area of influence, help to benefit them and me? How can I create a path for them that they recognize that they're being included, and recognize that through us as the leaders, through us as people who are supporting the diversity in our areas of influence, we are creating equity for them and for us. We are building our equity together. And that's the next step in our podcast is, how do we go from diversity to equity? And how do we take that and how do we build on that diversity and build the equity that we can together for the benefit of all of us? And that's where we're headed next. I hope that you have a great day. I hope you will think deeper about what diversity might be in your areas of influence. If it be listening, you don't have to agree, but having more empathy for what people go through, having more understanding, and realizing freedom is not about us controlling and giving people freedom, but it's about including them in what freedom is and suffering through the challenges that come with it. I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.